when it comes to relationships, there would always be those things that you're like, oh, am I sure I want to manage this? Is this something I want to cope with? Now, there are some that you have no choice but to pay attention to so that they don't cause future mayhem. And these are red flags. Today's red flags will be targeted at the men. So identify these red flags, and when you observe them in your man, dear lady, run for your life. And if you're a guy and you're watching this video and you find yourself harmlessly doing any of the things I'm about to list, desist and be better. All right? Are we cool? So let's get to it. Hello guys, how you doing? How are you today? Today I'm gonna be breaking table. So if you are watching these and you didn't have strong shares, go and get it. Because in case your boyfriend is doing any of the above, get ready to put your call through after this conversation. Do you understand? Anyways, I'm gonna be talking about red flags. What are those things that a guy does and should not be overlooked or should be addressed immediately? They are red flags, and do something about them is a theme. Number one, he gives you hot and cold vibes. Today he's all over you, tomorrow he's not over you at all. Let me explain so you can get it very quickly. Have you had somebody who would bombard you with calls, messages for 3 days straight, and then for 2 weeks nothing? You would literally be checking your phone to see whether they have eventually given you the golden missed call. Have you ever been in that kind of relationship, milady? Please, hot and cold vibes have a way of messing with your self-esteem. It makes you feel like you're the problem. It helps you to go through different levels of mood withdrawals, mood disorders. Sorry, it helps you to go through different levels of mood disorders. And of course, I can tell you for free that it has a way of making you less productive at work. If you are a student, you won't be able to do much. So you would always be waiting for their calls or waiting on them to reach out to you. And then when they do, they come big, they come loud, they love bomb you for under 2 days. Oh, I'm sorry. It was work. They will post you on status. I don't need me, love of my life. And came all of those things. 2 days again. Phew, back to cold vibes. Darling, that is not how it is supposed to be. Don't get used to that kind of system. I'm not saying that every day should be plenty calls and all of that, but I'm saying consistency in communication is actually one of the things that you should enjoy in a healthy relationship. Number two, he's privately nice and publicly rude. So this one is one I discovered in the course of my therapy sessions. I realized that some people really do have it in them to be all of that and more to you at home or when you guys are together. But when you are outside, it's like they want to prove a point and you are the scapegoat. Maybe they want to prove to their friends that they are in charge, or that guy wants to prove to his family that, you know, you are under his armpit or something, and then he just goes all, why would you wear that? Oh, come on, go inside for God's sake. You know, there's just this way he talks to you when you're outside. And then at home, when you're like, babe, why are you talking me down? He goes all, oh my God, baby, I didn't know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you know, pressure. I didn't even know I was talking like that. Yada. But you've observed that it has become a thing. He always does that. Privately awesome, publicly terrible. And we can swap also. Publicly nice, privately terrible. That one too is a terrible red flag. I mean, why should you be like, to my darling wife, my angel, my sweetheart. Can you please let me clap for my darling, my girl, my woman, my everything? Hey, peperempe. But in private, it's like you're fighting world war. They don't talk to you, they don't send you, they don't give 2 cents about you. That kind of system is not healthy. It is a red flag. So don't be that person who only looks forward to the times when they are nice, be it public or private. You deserve to be treated right regardless of the location. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Number 3, he pressures you for physical intimacy before you are ready. And trust me, sex is not something that you want to jump into. So we are not here to sell personal opinions, but you do deserve to have a say in when you're ready. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. And babe, that does not make you a bad partner. So if you say that I want to wait until marriage before you do it, and then he's making you feel like, what's wrong with you? Why are you holding on to those old principles? I don't believe in all of that. Why are you being a prude? Hello, it's not by force. Go straight. Look away. My dear, look away and look, focus. Do you understand? Focus on somebody that will not pressure you. Go away. Why should I be pressured into doing what I don't want to do? And many people suffer this thing a lot. And if you observe, they will tell you a lot of things. Oh, I'm not feeling okay. And it's only when I have sex that I feel better. If you love me, you will give me. We've been together for 2 months. What else are you trying to keep? Listen, it is not by force. If they cannot understand your reticence to hold back on physical intimacy, then maybe they are not as considerate as they're making themselves out to be. So that guy should ensure that he loves you enough to wait for you. And of course, there would always be context to all of these things. But generally speaking, respect is being able to say, oh, this is what I feel is right. And we are able to respect that. And that takes us to number 4. He is rude to the women in his life. Every woman in his life has a problem. If you see the way he talks to his mother and you're not comfortable with it, the way he treats his sisters, the way he treats his female colleagues at work, you know, he's behind the wheels, he's driving, and then somebody makes a wrong turn and says, oh, it's a woman. What makes you think your case will be different? Pick yourself in peace. So, if he's not treating every woman in his life right, you are not the golden goose that gave birth to the golden egg. New relationship energy would fade away, and it will be left with you and the facts and figures of your commitment to him. And so if he does not give the people around him, the women around him, a considerable level of respect, trust me, you will not be an exception. So don't leave it down. Address it, and if you don't see any changes, walk away, darling, before it is too late. And that takes us to the 5th one. He has turned you into Lord of the Rings. You have been wearing this engagement ring for 8 years. Happy engagement, man. I celebrate you. Congratulations 8 years ago. Are you not tired of wearing ring? Are you not tired of wearing promise ring? Even the promise has failed. It has failed and faded. Let me tell you, if you want to be in a relationship that does not have a specific time for marriage, yeah? You don't want to be there forever. You guys need to, at a point, decide what exactly you're doing. I'm of the opinion, yeah, that if you want to go into a relationship, it should be at least with the intent of getting married to them. And if you know that you're not ready for that, don't waste a person's time. Communicate what you guys want from the very beginning. Do you understand? So don't waste her time. If you're a guy and you're watching this, and that Auntie Kafaya has been with you for 15 years, sincerely, by now, you guys should be celebrating happy married anniversary. And if it's not happening, let her go. Lose her and let her go. So ladies, there is no award for longest courtship, okay? it is okay to court someone for long. If there's a premise for the length of time, that's okay. But honestly speaking, make sure you are both communicating from time to time and have a target. If it's more than 3-4 years, what is going on? What is going on? Please, every time I hear this heart-wrenching stories of how a guy would date a girl for 8 years, not marry her, and then break up, and then 6 months later marry another girl he dated for less than 6 months. You to try to reason it now. Look at it now. Why will she not have hypertension? Why will she have high blood pressure? Please, Lord of the Rings is not something you have to deal with. All right? It's a red flag, and make sure you don't endure that kind of emotional torture. And the last one for this episode, which is of course not the last generally, but we cannot exhaust everything. The last one for this episode is he is all about himself. Do you understand? Everything revolves around him. I've gone to weddings where they will say that Ashoebi is the husband's color. This hall is the husband's choice. This is the husband's that is the husband's that. So why did you get married to her? Handbag? Trophy? Relationship is collaborative. If you don't value your wife enough to be vested into her, there's no point. And so when a guy is all about himself, only wants to talk about himself, his achievements, his plans, his tastes, his desires, his expectations, nothing about you ever comes into play, something is wrong. And trust me, this point is not far-fetched. I know people who are going through this. The man might even be the kind of person who does for people outside. But again, that is still part of his interests, because he chooses to do for those people. But for you, nothing. He doesn't care. He's just all about the glitz and the glamour. So if it's not about him, he really couldn't give 2 cents. And then you are wondering why that kind of guy will get married to you and not pay the kids' school fees and will buy the finest things in the market for himself, get himself the nicest gadgets. Says you deserve better. And trust me, I understand that, okay, there's a lot of pressure that comes with age. I'm going to be addressing the issue of age and what it does to a woman, especially when she doesn't get married on time in Nigeria. I'm going to discuss it in another episode. But let me just hint at the fact that it does not define who you are. Your identity doesn't rise and fall on a man. So please, if you are in a relationship where you have observed any of the above, you either address it with your partner or you leave. Because in the end, you would have to answer to the decisions you make. Okay? Okay? Thank you for listening / watching. Please, by all means, do well to share, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget that you can follow me on all social media platforms. And very, very importantly, put down topics you would want me to address in subsequent episodes in the comments below. Thank you very, very much for always doing this with me every week. 7 p.m. next Friday, I'll be in your faces again. Mwah. Bye.